up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. How we ablaze the fire, make it fun.
Far Cry 3, the greatest Far Cry game. The game with the best villain in gaming. Was a character created solely for Michael Mando.
Have I failed to entertain you?
A game that told its story through its gameplay. Oh yes, it's definitely the best Far Cry game, but it's not my favorite. If you ask someone what their favorite Fast and Furious movie is, most might say Fast 5 or maybe Tokyo Drift. But for me, it's Too Fast, Too Furious. That movie just has this charm about it that makes me come back to it again and again. And that's exactly how I feel about Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4. Not just my favorite Far Cry game, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Sure, I'm not the biggest fan of Ubisoft. Not just because, well, it's Ubisoft. But they also rejected my internship application so far. In the Big 26, it's not exactly the hottest take to say that Far Cry 4 is amazing. Everyone knows how good the game is now. But that's now. That was not the case when it was released. 2014. Ubisoft's worst year. Unity was a week ago, Watch Dogs just 6 months before. Both games are praised for what they are today, but when it was released, it was a bug-filled mess. And everyone hated Ubisoft for it, and rightfully so. And there wasn't a universe where Far Cry 4 could win in such a disastrous year for Ubisoft. To everyone, it was just more Far Cry 3. And any other year, this would have been just called lazy, but in 2014, this was basically sacrilege. And to be fair, yeah, the game did reuse a lot from 3. A lot of the same guns, the same systems, the same formula. But despite all of that, the gameplay was genuinely a big improvement over 3. It felt tighter, more responsive, and overall just fun. But what really made me fall in love with Far Cry 4 was Kyrat. It was a setting that I had never really experienced in a game before. Sure, I enjoyed Far Cry 3 a lot, but the loud, sunny, and sweaty tropical setting gave me a migraine every time I tried to play it. And by comparison, Far Cry 4 setting felt like a breath of fresh air. It was a mix of Nepal, northern India, and Tibet. Some villages like Banapur felt like it was straight from Uttarakhand. The art team actually went to these places to study the culture and the people, and it really does pay off because Kyrat feels like a character of its own, and that's important for the story the game was trying to tell. Far Cry 3 told a story that only a game could. Jason's descent into madness was expressed through our increase in skill. Wars wasn't just a villain. He was a warning, a glimpse into who Jason was slowly becoming. It was an amazing story about the gamification of violence, one that was told through its gameplay. Every outpost we liberated, every person we killed, every skill we gained, we pushed Jason further and further away from the scared tourist we met at the beginning. Far Cry 4 told a similar story. In some ways it did it better than 3, in some ways worse. But before I get into all that, I gotta talk about the game first. We play as Ajay Gale, a Kirati American who came back to Kyrat to fulfill his mother's final wish. Everything seemed to be going great, until Bihar is mentioned.
Patna, boss. Patna.
And that is where he shows up. Pagan Min. Unique among all villains for being able to pull off a pink suit. He's still considered one of the most iconic villains in gaming, which really is something considering he barely gets like 15 minutes of screen time. Troy Baker plays every scene with so much charisma that even my ADHD eyes was logged in. But yeah, even he can't save the villain killing his own henchman trope. Pagan was unlike Was, in which he was friendly to us. Sure, he just killed a man in front of me, but he seems like a chill dude. I mean, he's cleared his calendar for me. We're gonna tear some shit up? Alright then. Should I stay or should I go? Pagan Min is Kyrat's king and Ajay's mother's former lover, as it turns out. And considering there's at least a tiny chance Pagan might actually be his father, Ajay decides to hear him out.
You mean it, boy. Help from your diaphragm! Help!
Honestly, I could have just sat here hearing Pagan talk for the rest of this game. But unfortunately for me, this is a game and he has to go. I mean, I really would have just loved to sit there and enjoy the crab Rangoon. But the game tells me otherwise, so after walking past a cartel execution video...
मोबाइल स्पीकर को 220 वोल्ट AC में दे के देखते हैं क्या होता है। स्पीकर उड़ गया।
We finally run into the Golden Path. We are rescued from Pagan by Sabal, one of the leaders of the Golden Path. But there's a problem. I didn't really want to be rescued. Pagan was fun and he had promised me shit to tear up. This felt more like a kidnapping, to be honest. But nevertheless, this is a Far Cry game and we gotta run from the bad guy. And unlike Jason, Ajay seems perfectly fine killing people, and the only explanation we are given for it is that he's American.
Are we safe? Probably not.
We fell directly into the tutorial section, which I didn't really like, so I'm just gonna... Sabal and Amita, the leaders of the Golden Path. If you're someone who doesn't like politics in video games, I got bad news for you. Sabal is a traditionalist, while Amita is a progressivist. Throughout the game, it's shoved down our throat that choices have consequences.
Don't forget, RJ. Choices have consequences.
And because Ajay is the prodigal son of Mohan Ghale, the founder of the Golden Path, both Sabal and Amita constantly look to us to decide Kyrat's future. This mostly takes place through a decision to either support Amita or Sabal. But caught in the middle of all this is Bhadra. Bhadra becomes the symbol of Kyrat's future. Do you preserve tradition even if it costs her freedom? Or do you free her from that role and risk losing Kyrat's culture entirely? This is something Far Cry 4 does a lot better than 3. The side characters. Sure, Ajay has the charisma of a wet piece of paper, but the side characters actually feel like real people.
What? I mean, she thinks her family's still alive? oh man, we killed them years ago.
You believe that both Sabal and Amita genuinely wants what's best for Kyrat, even if both of them are. And we believe what they're fighting for because we can see it all around us. Kyrat is the cultural melting pot of Nepali, Indian and Tibetan culture. The mountains, the colors, the paintings, the rituals. Yeah, the game still looks amazing to this day. It all creates a familiar yet foreign feeling, even for the people from these places. Honestly, I would choose Kyrat over the Rook Islands, Hope County or Yara any day. But I'm not back on this game just because it's pretty. I keep coming back to it because it's goddamn fun. Bell Towers and Outposts, the standard Far Cry gameplay. You know what a bell tower is. Basically every open world game has it. But where the real fun lies is the outpost. Now, there's a lot of ways to liberate an outpost. The first approach is a Splinter Cell approach. You find a high ground, mark everyone, drop in, take all of them out silently without ever alerting anyone. The second is a directed by Michael Bay approach. Go in guns blazing, blow everything up, don't disable the alarm, wait for them to come and blow them up too. But by far my favorite approach is the Step 1. Find an elephant. Step 2. Please get the elephant riding skill as soon as possible because there is something deeply beautiful about firing an elephant gun from an elephant at a rhino. Now, elephants aren't the only way to get around. There's the wingsuit, the paragliders, the buzzers, and of course the cars. And believe it or not, the cars are by far the funnest way to get around.
I'm blinded by the light.
And there's a ridiculous variety too. There's cars, jeeps, trucks. You can even fulfill your dreams of being an auto driver. There's even a whole side quest where you kidnap children in Nomni. Don't look it up, why would I lie? The only thing that ruins the driving in this game is Rabi Ray Rana.
Do we all have to start bending over backwards and twerking? And then people will be like, wow, the civil twerk war in Kyrat is really heating up. Those butt cheeks are really flapping together. Makes me want to throw some ones and give them some support.
But also don't sleep on the wingsuit though, because you can take off from anywhere as long as there's a slight altitude difference. And one of the best things you can do in this game is a wingsuit takedown. Okay, I didn't know where to put this, but if you piss off the Golden Path people, they will swear at you in Hindi.
Stop, asshole!
And it's the funniest shit I've ever seen, because they always swear like they just learned the words.
Why would you do that?
One addition in this game that I've really missed in every other Far Cry are the fortresses. These are massive outposts and each designed in unique ways. Like for example, Noose Fortress, which is literally built into a mountain. So you have to infiltrate it from the inside out. We can't use elephants in these fortresses, but the mortars more than make up for it. Honestly, just get the grenade launcher sidearm as soon as you can. But also the best gun in this game is the buzzsaw. The second you get the buzzsaw, all the difficulty is thrown out the window for pure dumb fun. The outposts are definitely the best part of this game, but the story missions are definitely up there with them. Most of them consist of us choosing between Sabal and Amita. Do you want to support someone who is really into child marriage or the one who's really into drugs? It's a lose-lose situation. The first time I played the game, I chose Amita because even though I am a YouTuber now, I'm not into kids. But yeah, that didn't really end well either because she just kills Bhadra, apparently.
Send her away. I don't need a Tarun Matara here for our enemies to rally behind. And don't bother trying to find her.
So the second time I played it, I chose Sabal. But he ends up killing everyone who supported Amita anyway. So this time around, I just chose the missions that sounded the most fun. And yeah, that is definitely the way to go. There are a bunch of other memorable missions too. Like Longinus' armed Bible study, Herc's Himalayan treks, and what Phineas and Ferb are doing today.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today.
The Shangri-La ones are amazing too. It's probably the best representation of heaven I've seen in any game. Which I know isn't saying a lot, but I mean, I think the visuals speak for themselves. And hearing Hindi being spoken in a game made by one of the biggest developers in the industry was a big shock to me, even as a 13-year-old Malayali. Now, as good as these are, the best missions are definitely the drug-related ones. The one where you burn down an opium field. The one where Phineas and Ferb drugs you and throws you into an arena. That definitely awakened something in me when I was 13 years old. Okay, these are starting to sound like Friends episodes now. And of course, the best mission in this game, Advanced Chemistry. This section barely lasts 5 minutes, but it's absolutely peak Far Cry. The colors, the drugs, the hallucinations, and the absurdity of it all. Mowing down guards with guns that kept morphing around. And the music choice. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. One of the best parts about this game is the music, and every song in this game is phenomenal. A lot of it is from the band called the Bombay Royale, who are such an underrated band, to be honest. But anyway, getting back to the game, that was all the south of Kyrat. The north basically kicks it up a notch. I mean, we literally enter North Kyrat by driving a truck full of explosives into a giant wall. North Kyrat is where the end of the game takes place. We had liberated most of Kyrat, and now it was time to go for Pagan Min. This is the final push, the time to finally end Pagan's reign, and you feel it. Storming the Royal Palace is basically the ultimate Far Cry power fantasy. The buzzsaw absolutely shreds through everything in your path. Soldiers, helicopters, vehicles, nothing stand a chance anymore. After hours of liberating Kyrat, we have finally made it, ending Pagan's reign by blowing up his statue. Now, in any other game, this should be it. We had taken over Pagan's palace, destroyed his likeness, killed his soldiers. This should mean we won.
Really, RJ? What do you have against my likeness? All those posters, Eric, my double, and now this. Am I missing a hint? Should I start taking this personally?
After all we have done, turning Kyrat into a literal war zone, Pagan still treats it all as a game. He sees us as a child throwing a tantrum. But we have come this far, and the only thing between us and the end was Pagan.
Amita, the gate's open. I'm heading for the palace.
The Royal Guard's counterattacking. We'll be there as soon as we can.
I'm going after Pagan.
We drive up, alone, to Pagan's palace. No Amita, no Sabal, no Rabi Re Rana. Just us, the road, and the river. This song too is by the Bombay Royale, an amazing mix of Bollywood and spaghetti western. Everything up to this point had felt triumphant. We told ourselves that it was for the liberation of Kyrat, but when I heard this song for the first time, it didn't feel completely triumphant. It felt melancholic, exhausted even, with notes of triumph and finality. This was the first time the game let us breathe and ask ourselves what we were really doing. We were fighting someone who isn't really fighting back, and for someone who we didn't really believe in. When I saw all the statues, broken and lying on the side of the road, I realized that this was the future that Amita wanted. Kyrat completely stripped off its culture. And so when I finally reached Pagan and got the chance to finally shoot him, I hesitated. I mean, I probably would have shot him, but the game took that agency from me.
So, who did you kill? Is it Amita? Sabal? Doesn't really matter. I already know. I just want to hear you say it.
Fuck you.
Oh, goodness, boy, you didn't even blink. Well, you do realize that you're just giving away your country, right? It's yours. It's always been yours. Kyrat is yours. I pulled you off the bus in the first place to pass it on to you. I suppose you could take it back. You're halfway there. One down, one to go. Not that I want to put ideas in your head. At least now we know you have a taste for doing what it takes. Well, no more putting it off, I suppose. Well, come on. And don't forget your mother.
And that's when I realized something. I had completely forgotten the reason why we were here. Not the palace, Kyrat. We had come here to scatter our mother's ashes and to find Lakshmana. This was never Ajay's war. He had simply inherited it from his father, the man who was supposed to be the savior of Kyrat. But as it turns out...
Well, I suppose you could do what I did after Mohan killed Lakshmana. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Huh. Yes, your father killed your half-sister, and then your mother killed him in return. I simply continued where she left off. I killed so many people for them. But then I realized I was only using Lakshmana's death as an excuse to do whatever I wanted to do. Just as you use those ashes as an excuse to do whatever you want to do. God damn if it isn't fun. Well, you finally made it. You're the one and only time I walked into this place. I came in a sane man and came out like this.
Pagan is a shell of the man he once was. By the time we meet him, he had lost everything. Ishwari, Lakshmana, Kyrat, the executions, the theatrics, the pink suits. Life really had turned into a game for him, and his power an excuse for fun. He had always viewed Ajay as a son and saw his victories as something to be proud of. The first time I beat this game, the takeaway I got from it was basically that Pagan was good and that the golden path was evil. But it took me beating the game for a third time to finally understand what the game was trying to tell. Pagan did tell you to stay and enjoy the crab Rangoon, but it was us who decided to run.
Please, stay right here. Enjoy the crab Rangoon. Don't move. I will be right back.
This is what Far Cry 4 tries to remind us of as we go for Pagan's head. The game hoped that we would hesitate, and the river does its job phenomenally. Because I did. I didn't know there was a secret ending there, I just hesitated. The ending we get here is probably my favorite in any game. Even when I got it for the first time, even when I thought it was about Pagan being the good guy, something felt off. It's frustrating really, but I still loved it because I didn't really believe it. Everyone in this game had been terrible. Our father had killed Lakshmana and in turn our mother killed him. And in his own words, Pagan had simply continued from where she left off. Pagan knew it was not noble, but he used his loss as an excuse to do what he wanted. But that conversation with him reminds us of something else too. Something that we subconsciously always knew. It was never really about scattering our mother's ashes. Most of us had probably forgotten about it by the end of the game. It was always about doing what we wanted to do. This was a game after all. With every outpost we liberated, every karma we gained, every skill we acquired, we had stopped caring about our mother's ashes or Kyrat. We became the player. Pagan used his power as an excuse to indulge himself, and so did we. We used the revolution as an excuse to turn Kyrat into our own sandbox. Pagan was never the good guy, but neither were we. Because if we had just sat there and enjoyed the crab Rangoon.
I sincerely apologize. We saw terrorists in the area and yada yada. The crab Rangoon, right? It's... fabulous. Well, come on, let's go. You know, part of me is surprised your mother asked for you to bring her all the way back here. Thank you, Kamran.
You want me to follow you?
Jesus Christ. Yes, boy, the ashes aren't going to scatter themselves. Did your mother ever tell you about your father?
Never know.
Mohan, the great protector of the Golden Path. He was a cunt. He hauled your mother out, sent her to spy on me. But we fell in love. We had a child. And that is when Mohan showed his true colors. He drove you and your mother away. Even killed your sister, Lakshmana. Which brings us here. Lakshmana shouldn't be alone anymore. I'm so glad we're finally back together. After you.
Yeah, the game just ends like that. We become the king of Kyrat. No liberation, no game, it just ends like that. There's a series of missions in Far Cry 5. The one where Brian Danielson kidnaps us and makes us run through these gauntlets while this song plays. At first you resisted, but eventually you stop questioning it. You just run the gauntlet again and again. Kill who the game tells you to, until you kill your own ally. Far Cry 5 made this conditioning explicit, but Far Cry 4 was doing it the entire time. I don't want to say that the game does it perfectly. I mean, most players wouldn't even have left that dining table if the game didn't tell us to. But after that, the game conditions us through progression. Every time we killed someone, or cleared an outpost, or gained a karma point, the game rewarded us, until we completely stopped thinking about the reason we were fighting for. We acted like heroes while doing exactly what Pagan was doing. Far Cry 4 feels almost like a reflection of 3, but while Vars was a reflection of what Jason could become, Pagan wasn't really Ajay's reflection. He was ours.
रात 11:59 একলা বসে থাকি দুটি কথা লিখে